All right. So this is number 16 from the Solving Equations practice. Many of you have asked for help on this one. So I'm really mainly concerned that you can get through part A, and then we'll talk about B for a second. A says, all right, the floor of a 6-foot wide hall is painted as shown using equal amounts of white and black paint. All right, so we can see the white and the black paint, and then we have some measurements there. We know that the white width, those are each X. So if you count with me at the top there, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those X's along here, right? But then that black space is not just empty space. Those are represented by X plus 1. So the black bars there have a width of X plus 1. All right, so whatever the X is, this one's plus 1 longer, right? Each of those, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. All right, and then we have that it has a height right here of 6 feet. Okay, it says how long is the hallway? All right, so for us to answer this question, we're gonna have to create an equation using the information that they've given us. All right, and we're gonna have to do that. It says we have to read this question carefully to see what we know about that white and black strips. It says that the floor of the 6-foot wide hallway is painted as shown using equal amounts of white and black paint. So according to this pattern, it has to have the same amount of white paint as black paint. With that being said, now we know that we can set the two expressions for the white equal to your expression for the black, right? And we should have an equation, sorry. All right, so let's look at, while I have the picture up here, we're gonna go ahead and form that, and then I'll move to the paper to show you how to solve it. So y'all just focus in, pay attention to just the white part for a second. So like here's one of them. This bar, this strip right here, we know that its width is X, but what's its height? So remember, to find the area of that bar right here, we would need to know its width, right? But also its height, or its length and its width, right? So if we know this is X, we know this part right here is 6. So for one of those white bars, it should be an area of X times 6, right? That's just one of them. Now let's count how many we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So I'm gonna go write this expression. So put you back up here for a second. All right, so for the white bars, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. We have 5 times. All right, and we know that the area for that expression that we just said was 6 feet times the X. So we have 6 times X, right? That's the area then, right? This is the area of the white bars. All right, now the black bars, should have put area first. All right, so the area of the black bars, let's go back over here and look at it. So for this one, the width wasn't listed up there, it's down here. So one width is X plus 1, right? And then we know the height of it is the same, it's 6. So for one, just one of the black bars, it would be 6 times X plus 1, but how many of those do we have? We have less of them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're bigger, but we have less of them, right? So it's 4 times 6 times X plus 1. So we can write that in. Okay, so we have 4 times 6 times X plus 1. Okay, so we don't have our equation yet, but we know that this is the area of the white bars all together. This is the area of the black bars all together. So to write the equation for this one, you had to figure out, it said how long is the hallway. So we have to know what X is so that we can figure out how long that hallway is. So that then we can go substitute the numbers in and figure it out. So here we go. We do know, they told us in the questions, if you go reread it, it tells you that they use the same amount of paint. So this area, we don't know what it is, but we know it has to equal this area. All right, so what we're gonna do first, we're gonna simplify each one, and then we're just gonna set them equal to each other on an equation. So what would we simplify first on this one? So we've been taught to use order of operations, right? So we would use parentheses first. So I'm gonna go ahead and multiply this. 6 times X is just 6X. So I have 5 times 6X, right? And then we can multiply 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. So this, we don't know the actual number for it, but we know that the area of the white space in that picture that they gave us is 30X. Now the area of the black space is gonna be whatever this is. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So you have a couple of things you could do here. You can multiply the 4 times the 6 and then distribute the 24 to both of these. I'm gonna go ahead though and follow the same process I was showing you a second ago and work inside of parentheses first. So I'm gonna go multiply this. 6 times that x is gonna give me 6x. 6 times this 1, so whoops, broke my pencil there. That is 6, so plus 6. Okay, so that's this part, right? We've distributed the 6. Now we're gonna distribute the 4. 4 times 6 is 24x. And then the 4 times 6 here is 24. All right, so these aren't our answers, but this now is the area. This is representing the area of the white space. This is the area of the black space. And they told us that these areas were equal, that they use the same amount of paint. So we need to now just set up an equation where we set those areas equal to each other. So I wrote that equation, so now we're gonna solve it. So we're gonna cancel out this 24x by subtracting 24x on both sides. So 30x minus 24x, that gives us 6x on this side, and then over here on the left side we still have 24. So now to continue solving for x, we'll need to divide both sides by 6, and that gives us 4. So again, that's not our answer, but that's what x is. So let's look at the picture again. So right here, we were asked to figure out how long the hallway is. So now if we know that x is 4, we know that each of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each of those 5 x's are 4 altogether, right? Or 4 each. So that means we can figure out what they are all together by multiplying. So 4 times the 5 is 20. So along the top up there we have, I'm gonna write that down, 20. Okay, so then now right here, along this space right here, so the top of the black bars there are 4 of them, remember? And we know that each of them were x plus 1 in length. So that means if we substitute that 4 in, we would have 4 plus 1. So each one of these are 5, right? So if we have 4 of them, that's 20 along the top for the black space also. So if we jot that down, we know the total length of that hallway now. It would be whatever these two sum to give you, which is going to be 40. So that's what you guys should have gotten for this space. So the hallway is 40 feet long. All right, and then now this question said, can this same hallway be painted with the same pattern, so this same exact pattern right here, but using twice as much black paint as white paint? So if you think about it, this pattern only worked, right, if you had the equal amounts of white and black paint. So should this one work then if we're setting it up where it would have twice as much black paint? It won't, because you would have too much of the black paint to have this same pattern. Now we could definitely have a hallway that had twice as much black paint as white paint, but it would not have the same pattern. All right, so I hope this helped you. Keep coming with the questions. Let me know which ones you need more help with. Bye.